Andy Griffith, with Ronnie Howard, also starring Don Knotts.
The Andy Griffith Show, 1960, cast then versus now, 1960 to 2025.
I'm the fastest gun in the West.
Well, you're the shortest, I'll say that. Best clip joint in town. That's clever.
Oh, well, I just kind of wanted to liven up the festivities.
There she is. Now, Floyd, how's that look to you?
Is he still in the chair?
Have your driver's license?
Yeah, you can have my driver's license. You'll kindly take a look at my name. You'll discover that.
Number 1. Andy Griffith. Step into the charming town of Maybury with Andy Taylor, the kind-hearted sheriff brought to life by the talented Andy Griffith in the beloved series The Andy Griffith Show, which graced television screens starting in 1960. Born Andy Samuel Griffith on June 1, 1926, in Mount Airy, North Carolina, this multifaceted artist left an indelible mark on American entertainment. Before becoming a household name, Griffith honed his musical talents, earning a degree in music from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The 1950s saw him become a familiar face on popular variety shows like The Ed Sullivan Show and The Steve Allen Plymouth Show. His theatrical debut in the Broadway play No Time for Sergeants in 1955 earned him a Tony nomination, a role he later reprised in the film adaptation. Griffith's film career began with a powerful and insightful performance in A Face in the Crowd, 1957, a role that many consider to be stunning. However, it was his portrayal of the folksy sheriff in The Andy Griffith Show that truly captured the nation's heart. For 8 seasons and 249 episodes, he embodied the essence of simple, heartfelt wisdom, making the series a timeless classic that continues to resonate with audiences through reruns. Beyond acting, Griffith was a creative force, establishing his own production company in 1972, which brought forth numerous movies and television series. In 1981, his compelling performance in Murder in Texas earned him an Emmy nomination. Despite facing a health challenge with Guillain-Barré syndrome in 1983, he made a full recovery and returned to the spotlight. In 1986, he not only produced, but also starred in the highly successful legal drama Matlock, a role he cherished, as he mentioned upon receiving a People's Choice Award. This series also led to several television movies, further solidifying his place in television history. Andy Griffith's personal life included marriages to Barbara Griffith, with whom he had 2 children, Andy Griffith Jr. and Dixie Griffith, Salisa Casuto, and finally Cindy Knight, who remained his wife until his passing. Known for his folksy charm, often playing the acoustic guitar and banjo while singing folk or gospel songs, his characters frequently possessed a friendly demeanor and a knack for recounting classic tales with a unique Southern perspective, all delivered with his distinctive gruff yet gregarious voice and slow Southern drawl. Andy Griffith passed away at the age of 86 on July 3, 2012, at his home in Dare County, North Carolina, due to a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of warmth and memorable performances.
Who's that?
Well, Jimmy here. You ready to go to work, ain't you?
In a garage? Sure thing.
What's that going? The committee always tries to fit the prize to the winner, and seeing as how Jim Summers always wins the sack race.
Jim Summers?
Number 2. Frances Bavier. In the heart of Maybury, Aunt Bee Taylor, portrayed by the remarkable Frances Bavier, offered warmth and gentle guidance in The Andy Griffith Show, which premiered in 1960. Born Frances Elizabeth Bavier on December 14, 1902, in New York City, she carved a distinguished path in entertainment. Her career blossomed on Broadway, beginning with The Poor Nut in April 1925, leading to numerous successful stage productions, including Point of No Return in 1951 alongside Henry Fonda, which enjoyed a run of 356 performances. During World War II, Bavier also dedicated her time to entertaining U.S. troops in the Pacific with the USO. Her foray into film began with the 1951 science fiction classic The Day the Earth Stood Still, a movie that also marked her first collaboration with Olin Soul, who later became Maybury's choir director John Masters in The Andy Griffith Show. In the film, they shared scenes as residents in the same boarding house as the alien. The 1950s saw her in various movies, and as a featured character in television shows like It's a Great Life and The Eve Arden Show, all leading up to her most iconic role as Aunt Bee to Andy Taylor, played by Andy Griffith, and Opie Taylor, portrayed by Ron Howard, in The Andy Griffith Show. For 8 seasons and 249 episodes, Frances Bavier embodied the beloved Aunt Bee, becoming a cornerstone of the Maybury community. Despite her warm on-screen persona, some cast members recalled her as being difficult and somewhat cold. Andy Griffith himself noted a certain personal disconnect. Interestingly, she purchased her Siler City home in North Carolina sight unseen, captivated by the region's beauty, expressing that she had come looking for a fairyland. Later in life, after retiring in 1972, Bavier became reclusive in her North Carolina home. A lifelong enthusiast of Studebaker automobiles, her last car, believed to be a 1966 model, accompanied her to North Carolina and was reportedly last driven in 1983. Frances Bavier passed away at the age of 86 on December 6, 1989, in Siler City, North Carolina, due to congestive heart failure resulting from a heart attack.
I've changed my mind. I think I've hit on just the right recipe. Going to enter the competition after all. Must go in. Mr. Sprague has the wrong bird.
I'm sorry, my instructions are when the red light goes on, I'm supposed to keep people out.
Number 3. Don Knotts step into the quirky charm of Maybury with Deputy Barney Fife, the endearingly nervous and often hilarious lawman brought to life by the uniquely talented Don Knotts in The Andy Griffith Show, which first aired in 1960. Born Jesse Donald Knotts on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia, Don embarked on a remarkable journey in the world of entertainment. His early ventures included paid gigs as a ventriloquist. After a brief stint in New York City, he pursued higher education at West Virginia University. During World War II, he served in the Army's Special Services branch, entertaining the troops and transitioning from ventriloquism to straight comedy. Returning to West Virginia University after the war, he earned a theater degree in 1948. Connections made during his time in the Special Services branch aided his entry into show business in New York, where he performed stand-up and worked in radio, notably as Windy Wales on The Bobby Benson Show. From 1953 to 1955, he was a regular on the soap opera Search for Tomorrow. A pivotal moment arrived when he was cast as the psychiatrist in the Broadway play No Time for Sergeants, starring Andy Griffith, a connection that would significantly shape his career. He also appeared in the film adaptation of the play alongside Griffith. Don's career gained further momentum with a regular spot on the Steve Allen Plymouth Show starting in 1956. His nervous man shtick in the Man on the Street segments became a highlight, showcasing his talent for portraying fidgety and high-strung characters, a persona he successfully utilized throughout his career. When The Tonight Show moved to Hollywood in 1959, Don followed, but his true breakthrough came with the role of Deputy Barney Fife in Andy Griffith's new series, The Andy Griffith Show. His portrayal of the well-meaning but often inept deputy earned him 5 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actor between 1961 and 1967. He also achieved big screen success, starring in The Incredible Mr. Limpet, 1964. After signing a 5-year contract with Universal Pictures, Don reduced his appearances on The Andy Griffith Show to focus on movies like The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, 1966, The Reluctant Astronaut, 1967, The Shakiest Gun in the West, 1968, The Love God, 1969, and How to Frame a Fig, 1971. While his movie career waned in the late 1960s, he returned to television, briefly headlining his own variety show. The 1970s saw him in regional theater and guest appearances. He later found renewed success as the would-be swinger landlord Ralph Furley on the popular sitcom Three's Company starting in 1976. Following that show's cancellation in 1984, he reprised his role as Barney Fife in a 1986 reunion of The Andy Griffith Show, and had a recurring role as the pesky neighbor Les Calhoun on Griffith's Matlock series until 1992. In his later years, he toured with plays and did voice-over work, including voicing Mayor Turkey Lurkey in Disney's Chicken Little, 2005. Don Knotts passed away at the age of 81 on February 24, 2006, in Los Angeles, California, due to pulmonary and respiratory complications from pneumonia related to lung cancer, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable comedic performances, most notably as the beloved Barney Fife for 190 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. He was married 3 times to Catherine Elaine Metz, with whom he had 2 children, Laura Lee Chukner and Frances Yarborough, who remained his wife until his death.
This won't take a minute. I just need an extra set of handcuff keys, just in case.
Rock, we have 2 basic rules. Memorize them so that you can say them in your sleep.
Number 5. George Lindsay Goober Pyle, the well-meaning but often dim-witted mechanic who brought a unique brand of humor to The Andy Griffith Show, starting in 1960. This memorable character was brought to life by the talented George Lindsay, born George Smith Lindsay, on December 17, 1928, in Fairfield, Alabama. Lindsay stepped into the shoes previously worn by Jim Neighbors' Gomer Pyle, taking over as the resident mechanic and running the fill-in station. His portrayal of Goober, complete with his country wit, often amusing impersonations of Cary Grant saying, "Judy, Judy, Judy," and his perpetually worn stocking cap, made him a perfect fit for the show's quirky charm, often to the exasperation of Sheriff Andy Taylor. He continued to play Goober in the spin-off series Mayberry RFD, and for many years he entertained audiences on Hee Haw, essentially playing similar characters. While he wasn't in a vast number of different shows, his recognizable persona as Goober kept him consistently employed for nearly 25 years between The Andy Griffith Show and Hee Haw. Beyond these iconic roles, George Lindsay also appeared in various other television shows and movies, including Gunsmoke, The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, The Rifleman, The Twilight Zone, Cannonball Run 2, and Take This Job and Shove It. Interestingly, despite his on-screen portrayal of a somewhat slow-witted character, George Lindsay held a bachelor's degree in bioscience from the University of North Alabama and worked as a science teacher before pursuing his acting career. He also shared a close friendship with Academy Award-winning actor Ernest Borgnine, who credited Lindsay with saving him from depression. According to Jim Neighbors, Lindsay was initially considered for the role of Gomer Pyle. Adding another surprising twist, Leonard Nimoy revealed that Gene Roddenberry's first choice to play Spock in Star Trek was George Lindsay, a role he ultimately turned down. Before his acting career took off, Lindsay also briefly worked as a stand-up comic and was a former high school teacher. George Lindsay, forever remembered as Goober Pyle from The Andy Griffith Show for 86 episodes, passed away on May 6, 2012, at the age of 83, after a brief illness at a healthcare center in Nashville, Tennessee. Number 6. Howard McNear. Floyd Lawson, the town's leisurely barber, was brought to life with memorable charm by Howard McNear in The Andy Griffith Show, which began in 1960. Born Howard Turbell McNear on January 27, 1905, in Los Angeles, California, McNear built a long and successful career in radio and film before becoming forever etched in television history as Floyd. Interestingly, Don Knotts once remarked that playing Floyd wasn't much of a stretch for McNear, as his real personality mirrored the character's laid-back nature. McNear's career began in vaudeville, leading him to a significant presence in radio, where he notably played Doc Adams in the long-running radio series Gunsmoke for many years. In film, he often portrayed figures such as congressmen and hotel managers, occasionally taking on villainous roles as well. While working on The Andy Griffith Show during its 3rd season, McNear suffered a severe stroke in 1963. This health event significantly affected his left shoulder, arm, and legs. As a result, in later episodes of the show, he was often filmed in close-ups or seated, sometimes propped up by a brace, to accommodate his physical limitations. Despite these challenges, his portrayal of Floyd remained a beloved part of the series for 151 episodes. Beyond his iconic role as Floyd, McNear's talents extended to radio, where he was well known for his work on Gunsmoke. His family history includes his grandfather, Franklin "Frank" Ellis McNear, who served in the Civil War. Howard McNear was married to Helen Spatz from 1935 until his death, and they had one child. His parents were Frank Ellis McNear and Inzetta M. Spencer, and he had siblings named Frank Wood McNear, Ruth Ellis McNear, and Ellis Hedges McNear. Howard McNear passed away on January 3, 1969, at the age of 63 in the San Fernando Valley, California, due to complications from pneumonia following the stroke he had suffered years earlier.
Button and it oozes out ready-made lather. Oh, can you imagine that? Oh, they never recover from those things. Agnes Drumhiller didn't.
Number 8. Annetta Corsott. In the heart of Maybury lived the smart and self-reliant schoolteacher Helen Crump, brought to life by the talented Annetta Corsott. Born Anita Louise Corsott on November 3, 1933, in Hutchinson, Kansas, this auburn-haired actress, standing at 5'5", pursued her passion for acting by studying drama at Northwestern University and with the esteemed Lee Strasberg. Though she left university early to pursue her career, her dedication shone through. Annetta's early television work included guest roles in Producer's Showcase and Robert Montgomery Presents in 1955. Her film debut came in 1958 with the cult classic The Blob, where she played Jane Martin alongside Steve McQueen. However, it was in 1963 that she first graced The Andy Griffith Show as Helen Crump, becoming a steadfast presence until the series concluded in 1968, appearing in 66 episodes. She revisited this iconic role in the spin-off Mayberry RFD, the television movie Return to Mayberry in 1986, and The Andy Griffith Show reunion in 1993. While The Blob remained a notable film credit, Annetta also appeared in The Toolbox Murders and had uncredited roles in Good Neighbor Sam, A Rage to Live, and Blazing Saddles. Her television career was extensive, including appearances in The Blue Knight, Adam 12, House Calls, Matlock, alongside Andy Griffith, and General Hospital, as well as numerous guest roles. Sadly, after battling cancer, Annetta Corsott passed away on November 6, 1995, at the age of 62 in Studio City, California. She left behind a memorable quote that reflected her career. "I'm neither ugly enough to be a straight character actress, nor pretty enough to be a glamour girl, so I have to be an actress. I generally wind up playing the nice girl, or the young mother who has a baby or wants a baby."
Quite sure I know what you're talking about.
Number 10. Hal Smith, Otis Campbell, the lovable town drunk, brought to life by the talented Hal Smith. Born Harold John Smith on August 24, 1916, in Petoskey, Michigan. Hal was not only a gifted actor, but also a writer. Interestingly, despite his iconic role, Hal was a teetotaler in real life. His versatility extended beyond acting. He shared the voice duties for Walt Disney's Goofy after the original voice artist passed away, and proudly served in the special services during World War II. Later in his career, Hal poignantly used his Otis Campbell character in public service announcements for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Many also recognize his warm voice as Mr. Whitaker in the beloved radio program Adventures in Odyssey. Hal's acting credits include the film The Great Race, where he played the mayor of Baracho, and lending his voice to Owl in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. He graced The Andy Griffith Show as Otis Campbell for 32 episodes between 1960 and 1966. Hal Smith passed away from a heart attack on January 28, 1994, at the age of 77 in Woodland Hills, California, leaving behind a legacy of memorable characters. He once fondly recalled his early days in entertainment, saying, "We were paid $5 a show. That was a lot of money in those days." Number 11. Hope Summers. Hope Summers brought to life the friendly neighbor, Clara Edwards. Born Sarah Hope Summers on June 7, 1902, in Mattoon, Illinois. Hope's early passion for theater led her to graduate from Northwestern School of Speech, where she later taught speech and diction. She further honed her skills by heading the speech department at Bradley University. In the 1930s, Hope transitioned her focus to acting, finding work in community and stock theaters, and gaining recognition for her one-woman shows. Her eloquent voice also made her a sought-after talent in radio, where she participated in numerous dramatic programs. In 1950, she embraced the new medium of television, securing a regular role in the comedy series Hawkins Falls, a television novel. Often cast in slightly older roles, Hope appeared in films like 0 Hour, Inherit the Wind, and Foul Play, though television proved to be her more prominent medium. Her kind yet somewhat stern features made her a perfect fit for small-town settings in shows such as Dennis the Menace and Petticoat Junction, as well as westerns like The Rifleman, where she was a familiar face for many years. Interestingly, Hope also lent her voice to the iconic Mrs. Butterworth, talking maple syrup bottle. She had a rich history in radio, starting in Chicago in 1939 and participating in almost every show originating from there, even founding 2 stock companies in Chicago where she both produced and acted. Hope Summers passed away from heart failure on June 22, 1979, at the age of 77 in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, California, leaving behind a legacy of portraying memorable and often gossipy yet helpful characters.
No, I don't, dear.
Bye, Daddy. Oh, I stopped by to see when Bee's coming back in.
Number 12. Betty Lynn. Betty Lynn as the sweet and ever-patient Thelma Lou, the girlfriend of Barney Fife in The Andy Griffith Show. Born Betty Ann Lynn in Missouri in 1926, her very name seemed to echo the gentle characters she portrayed. With a musical background, Betty began her career as a teenager, performing in supper clubs and on Broadway, even entertaining troops during World War II. Discovered on Broadway, she signed with 20th Century Fox, appearing in films like Sitting Pretty and June Bride. However, it was her role as Thelma Lou in The Andy Griffith Show, where she starred for 5 seasons alongside Don Knotts, that truly endeared her to audiences. When Knotts left the show, Betty felt her role was incomplete without their dynamic, and also departed as a regular, though she returned for a guest appearance where Thelma Lou was controversially married to another man. The beloved couple eventually reunited and married in the TV movie Return to Mayberry in 1986. Betty continued her television career with recurring roles in Family Affair and My 3 Sons, and guest spots in various shows. Later, she even played Andy Griffith's secretary in Matlock. Never married and without children, Betty Lynn lived in her West Hollywood home for decades before moving to Mount Airy, North Carolina, the real-life inspiration for Mayberry. She remained a beloved figure, often greeting fans at the Andy Griffith Museum. Betty Lynn passed away peacefully in her sleep on October 16, 2021, at the age of 95, leaving behind the indelible memory of Thelma Lou.
Interpretation and played for me a lot and everything, helped me a big deal. And so I sang in a club at
He's nice, very nice. And the important thing is you'll be with us.
Number 13. Jim Nabors. Jim Nabors brought to life the dim but lovable gas station attendant, Gomer Pyle, in The Andy Griffith Show. Born James Thurston Nabors on June 12, 1930, in Sylacauga, Alabama, Jim's journey took him from being a typing clerk at the United Nations to a film cutter at NBC in Los Angeles, where he moved due to asthma. His unique talent for blending classical singing with a gawky hick persona was discovered during a cabaret act in Santa Monica. This led to appearances on Steve Allen's TV show, where Andy Griffith himself noticed Jim's down-home charm and offered him the role that would skyrocket his career. Gomer Pyle's sheepish Gowlee and wide-eyed Shazayam became iconic, and the character's popularity led to his own spin-off series, Gomer Pyle, USMC. While this success made him a household name, it also somewhat pigeonholed him. Jim later refocused on his remarkable baritone voice, releasing several gold and platinum easy listening albums, including a gold record for The Lord's Prayer. He became a frequent singing and comedy guest on numerous variety shows and was considered Carol Burnett's annual Good Luck Charm. This led to his own variety shows, The Jim Nabors Hour and The Jim Nabors Show, earning him a Golden Globe and a Daytime Emmy nomination, respectively. His theatre debut came in The Music Man, thanks to his friend Burt Reynolds, with whom he also appeared in a couple of films. After a liver transplant in 1994, Jim lived a quieter life in Hawaii, running a macadamia nut plantation. In 2013, he publicly came out as gay and married his partner of 38 years, Stan Cadwallader. Jim Nabors, known for his role as Gomer Pyle and his rich baritone voice, passed away from an immune disorder on November 30, 2017, at the age of 87. He was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a foundation in his hometown established a grant in his name for teachers. Number 14. Paul Hartman Emmett Clark, the town's handyman. Born on March 1, 1904, in San Francisco, California, Paul's roots were deeply embedded in show business. His father, Ferris Hartman, was a well-known impresario. Paul's career began incredibly early, performing as part of a family act from just 6 weeks old, and even touring Japan with the Mikado at the tender age of 2. After a brief stint at the University of California and a short career in journalism, Paul pursued his passion for entertainment, gaining recognition as a dancer in nightclubs alongside future stars like Ginger Rogers. He then formed a celebrated ballroom dancing partnership with his wife Grace Hartman, touring the US and appearing on Broadway. Their 1948 revue, Angel in the Wings, was a major success, earning them both Tony Awards. This popularity led them to Hollywood for the early TV sitcom, The Hartmans, though it didn't achieve great success. Following Grace's passing in 1955, Paul largely stepped away from stage work, except for a final Broadway performance in 1958. He then focused on the steady work of television, taking on supporting roles, most notably as the family patriarch in The Pride of the Family, the handyman Emmett Clark in The Andy Griffith Show, and the barber Bert Smedley in Petticoat Junction. Paul Hartman passed away from a heart attack in Los Angeles on October 2, 1973, at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy as a versatile performer. Number 15. Mary Lansing, Martha Clark, in The Andy Griffith Show. Born on June 10, 1911, in New Orleans, Louisiana, Mary holds a unique distinction within the series. She played the greatest number of different characters, a remarkable total of 11. Among these roles, she appeared as Martha Clark in 15 episodes between 1962 and 1968. Mary's journey in entertainment began in radio, where she met and married fellow actor Frank Nelson while performing on the Georgia Fifield Players. Their marriage in 1933 brought them 2 children, Douglas and Bonnie, and they frequently collaborated on The Jack Benny Show during the 1950s. Beyond her acting career, Mary had a fascinating side passion as an architectural designer. She even designed her own home, known as the Fryman Ranch, in Studio City. Furthermore, she was the founder and producer of the Hollywood Showplace Theatre. Mary Lansing, who also appeared in Happy Days in 1929, and as Jean in an episode of The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show in 1953, passed away on September 30th, 1988, in Northridge, California.